Om Sahana Vavtu Sahanao Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Do the Shanti part of this Upanishad. Om Shanno Mitra Sham Varunaha Shanno Bhavatvayarma Shanna Indro Bruhaspatihi Shanno Vishnu Rurukramaha Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahma Vadishyami Rutam Vadishyami Satyam Vadishyami Tanma Vavatu Tatvaktaram Avatu Avatu Mam Avatu Vaktaram. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So we saw that in the previous section there were several verses, and the basic idea was that they were doing these yagnas or this ritual to become very successful in the world and superior and all that, and get all the physical amenities and everything, and the mental powers and purity. And we saw all that so that they become good people themselves, learn this whole vidya, benefit from it, and then spread it to the rest of them. Very noble thing, so that everybody can become happy. Maximum people becoming happy. So that was the whole idea. So now we come to the next one. So next one is, it's a little bit going to be tough, but once we get the hang of it, I think it will be fine. And we have heard this Bhur Bhuva Swaha sabhi ko malum hai because of Gayatri Mantra. चाहे हम को और कुछ आता जाता नहीं हो, लेकिन ये गायत्री मंत्र तो सभी को मालूम है. At least सुना तो है. Most of us have it memorized. And उसमें भी Bhur Bhuva Swaha है, right? What is this Bhur Bhuva Swaha? And these are like, it's a little mystical utterances, they call it. And it's mentioned in the Vedas. But just like that Om, right? We learned about Om that has 3 parts, waking, dream, and deep sleep. And now we got so expert in it that now we know it. Because हमने इतना पढ़ लिया. वैसे ही Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha का भी है कि ये 3 different experiences बोलो, 3 different lokas बोलो. There could be several different things. And they are explaining to the student, taking this Om Bhur Bhuva as a base, you're superimposing again certain things on it. Exactly like we did the sandhis. That how they had, and then ओम भूर भुआ, ये 3 चीजें. उसके बाद एक और भी चौथी चीज है, उसको महा बोला है. And maha is equated to Brahman, is equated to the consciousness. Now everybody in the class knows what the consciousness is. Maha is that consciousness, and these other things are powered by this consciousness, you can say. Or consciousness is the subtlest, most pervading. And when it comes to Bhur Bhuva Swaha, then, when you say Bhu, it could be earth, Bhuva, sky, and Bhur Bhuva Swaha can be heavens or beyond that also. And each one is subtler than the other. The sky is subtler than the earth. And when you say subtler, there is also one more characteristic that happened, that in the second part, the first is already included. So when we say sky, the earth is in the sky. So it's all pervading through the earth. See what I'm saying? Like that. So these concepts, if we keep it in mind, it will become a lot easier for us to understand what this means. So you can call it that in this section, the teacher is teaching the students another method of meditation. And according to when we read Swamiji's commentary, he's going to tell us that, okay, let me first do the verse and then we will. So it's Bhur Bhuva Suvariti Va Etastrito Vrahyataya. It's called, it's a very difficult word. Vyahirti. Vyahirti is the word. I can't even pronounce it properly. This is something, 3 words हैं. Pranav, Vyahirti and Gayatri. So Pranav is the Om that came first. उसके बाद Vyahirti आया. Vyahirti means the Om Bhur Swaha. Those 3 words है ना, उसको Vyahirti बोलते हैं. ये वेदांत में. And पहले ओम आया, प्रणव, उसके बाद व्याहृति आई, भूर्भुवः स्वः, उसके बाद गायत्री मंत्र आया. That's the sequence. Okay? So just think of it that way. So basically क्या है कि ये जो सारा व्याहृति है ना, it is supposed to be in the beginning of the Vedas, ब्राह्मणा पोर्शन में है ये व्याहृति. So ये जो students है ना, according to Chinmayanand ji, they were already familiar with that. They had already studied the Brahmana portion of the Vedas, because this is called the latter part of is Vedant. So now they are graduating towards Vedant. So they are already familiar with these 3. And what is the meaning of Vyahirti? If you see their dictionary meaning, it means Kathan, Ucharan, Vachan, Ukti, declaration. That's the word that we use. These are the declaration by the Vedas. They're about these 3 things. And this Vyahirti was, made at the beginning of the creation only. And then, to begin with, we just think it this way. The Bhu is earth, Bhuva is sky, and Swa is heaven, and Maha is that higher plane, you can call it, to begin with, just to understand this. So, and then Swamiji is going to explain that this Bhur, Bhuva and all that is a various field of experiences. And then I already mentioned each subtler than the other. And Maha is subtler than the other 3. Okay. Did I? I just got caught up over here. I didn't finish the whole thing, right? Did I read the whole Sanskrit? Neeraji?
Not yet.
Okay.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
We got up to
भूर भुआ स्वमा में मैं अटक गई वहाँ पे. Okay. Let me finish. But it's so, even I had to sit down and learn all these things, and so I was like, Tamasu ha smaitam chaturthi Mahachamasya. This is the name of one of rishis, you can call it, Mahachamasya. So we are learning so many things that we didn't know before. Pravadayet Maha iti tad brahma sa atma angani anya devataha. So let's look at each word. Maybe it will become a little clear. Bhu is the world, or our world over here. Bhuva is sky. Suva is the next world. You can say heavens, whatever you want to call it. Uske beyond. Sky ke bhi beyond bolo. Or sky se bhi subtle. Iti, thus. Vai is verily. Etaha is these. Tistraha, the 3. Vyahirtayah. This is what I was talking about. That's where I got stuck over here. Vyahirtaya is the short utterances of mystical significance. That's how Swamiji explained. Tasama of these, in addition, U is in addition, and in addition to, Ha is of course, Etam this, Chaturthim, the 4th. See, there be 4th aa gaya. Just like when we did our Mandukya, that Turiya means the 4th. So here also 4th, exactly same thing. See how we can relate now? The 4th. Mahachamasya. Mahachamasya, son of Mahachama. There was a rishi who was the son of this Mahachamas, I guess. And then Pravadayets Maha. Knowing by intuition proclaim means he's the first one to realize this. Okay? And उसका नाम था, उस ऋषि का नाम था महाचमस है, इसलिए उसको नाम ही दे दिया महा. जैसे कोई कोई great scientist होता है ना, उसके नाम पे कुछ चला देते हैं, like this Tesla car. Because of the great scientist, this Elon Musk gave the car Tesla. वैसे ही ये factor को उन्होंने महा बोला because of महाचमस्य. That's how you have to say. उसको नाम ही दे दिया उसका. Iti does, tat that, Brahman, that consciousness. Saha is he, Atma the body, Angani the limbs, Anya other, Devata is gods. So what basically they are saying over here, that there are 3 factors, one subtler than the other, and there is another fourth factor that is transcendental. So there are two words they use in Vedanta, transcendental and eminent. So what does that mean? And we have discussed it many times, a little subtle thing, but it's not that difficult if you think about it. So something, but consciousness is through every one of us, right? Everything. So that's called eminent. Means it's there. But it also is unaffected by us. That's why it's transcendental. Just like sunshine. You cannot contaminate sunshine. It can touch a gutter or it can touch Ganga. Sunshine ko kuch nahi hone wala. It will be as pure as anything. Same way, it's called transcendental. So this Mahatattva is eminent in everybody, but also transcendental. Okay? And then how do you explain this? So they gave an example. They said, Maha is the body and everything else is his limbs. All the devatas, chota mota devatas and all that, whatever you call it, or all our indriyas or our, different parts of the universe, you can say however way you want to look at it. So body is a main होती है और उसके limbs होते हैं, तो उनका क्या relationship है? Limbs cannot live without the body, but body can be without the limbs also. Maybe something like that. So that's why they gave that example that, that is called body bola. But why they're calling consciousness a body? Just an example to make us understand the relationship with body and its limbs. That's what it's saying. So
you're saying the Bhur, these are the limbs, right?
Yes. Now you got it. These are the limbs. Absolutely. Okay. Yes. Yeah. And so limbs can have a different stages. It can be subtler. They're still limbs. Yeah, just like the 5 elements. The earth is the grossest and the sky is the subtlest, but all are, Yes. So you're getting it right. So that's how you have to look at it. So here, basically, the master is the one who's demanding the student to understand this 3 things, Bhur, Bhuva, Swaha, and Maha, the 4th one. And now he's going to have them superimpose and do the meditation, but different thing. People can pick what they want to. Exactly the way we did from the previous section. That we took the sandhis and then there were all 4 or 5 different meditative techniques that they told about. So I hope that this is clear it's a little mystical, but hey, if we want to study Upanishads, we got to have a little open mind here and be ready for all this. Okay.
Umaji, this Bhu, is it different than Bhur or is it the same?
No, there are 2 words. 3 words, sorry. Bhur, Bhuva, Swaha. Usko 3 मिला के भूर भुआ हो गया वो. No, sorry. भूर भुआ में 2 हैं और सुवा is बाद वाला है. Yeah. So 3 है actually. Bhu, Bhuvaha and Suvaha.
So the first one, Bhu, now in Gayatri month we start with Bhur.
We say भूर भुवा स्वहा. Actually हम लोग गलत प्रोनाउंस करते हैं. वो है भूर भुवा स्वहा. उसमें भी 3 ही है. हाँ. Because नॉर्थ इंडिया में ना वो बीच में खा जाते हैं हम लोग वर्ड्स को. आप लोग साउथ इंडिया को देखो, लोग एकदम परफेक्ट प्रोनाउंस करेंगे, और हम लोग ऐसे ना फास्ट ट्रेन चला देंगे. भूर भुवा स्वहा, and we think that no, it is भूर भुवा स्वहा, like that. So now that after you learn this, we will be more keen to pronounce it correctly too. Yeah. Any other question? Here we go. Shireen has something? Yeah.
I can read.
Yeah, go ahead, Shireen. Read.
Okay. Bhu, Bhuva, Swaha are the 3 short utterances of mystical significances. In addition to these, there is the 4th one, Maha, made known by the seer, Mahachamasya.
Yeah, Mahachamasya. You got it. Mahachamasya.
That is Brahman. That is the body, other gods are its limbs. This section opens out another method of meditation. The technique adopted has a direct bearing with things familiar for the students who had a thorough study earlier of the Brahmana portion of the Veda. Naturally to them, the short mystical utterances Vyarthi?
Yeah, Vyaharti. Remember, even I had a difficulty in pronouncing. If you Google this word, there is a lot more information out there. If somebody wants to learn Vyaharti, they call it in Vedanta. Vyaharti, correct.
Vyarthis are very familiar and full of import. But today we find it difficult to enter into the very spirit of it because we are unable to appreciate or experience the import contained therein.
So he's just telling you that how these people were only familiar with it. Something like that, huh? In today's world, we are familiar with all the computer language, right? कोई बोलेगा माउस विंडोज ये वो भी हमको मालूम है. एक जोक होता था कि माउस को अगर हिंदी में ट्रांसलेट करे तो चूहा, ऐसे वर्ड से चूहा खिड़की से कूद गया or something. Making all kind of jokes. If you tell somebody who does not know, they will not understand anything. But these students were so used to bhur swaha, they knew what it was. That's what he's talking about. That these days we don't know. See, हम लोग ने गायत्री मंत्र सभी को याद है, पर अभी तक हम लोग को मालूम ही नहीं था भूर स्वा क्या होता है, right? अभी मालूम पड़ गया ना क्या है. So see, that's what it is. And these people knew it, and we are still learning about it.
The terms boa, and so on indicate the various fields of experiences which the mind can indulge in if it raises itself to be in unison with these realms of experience. Each one of them is considered to be subtler than the other. Excuse me. A subtler plane not only transcends the grosser, but it is at once immanent in the grosser plane also. Compared with the most well-known three fields, bhuva, and subha.
Do you need to take a drink of water, Shireen? Go ahead if you do.
The scripture says here that there is yet another plane called Maha, which is subtler than the former three. This plane of experience, Maha, was first cognized by a great rishi called Mahachasya, and therefore this world of experience is called Maha.
So everybody got the picture that there was a rishi called Mahachamasya, which we, at least I had not heard it until I started reading this, so I'm so happy to learn this now. And he's the one who intuitively discovered this Brahman at that time, wherever, and that's why it's called Maha naam bhi diya gaya hai.
Compared with the earlier three, the fourth is at once transcendent and immanent, and therefore it is called Brahman. The relationship between Maha and the other worlds is beautifully brought out in the declaration that Maha is a body and the others are but its limbs. We all know that limbs in themselves will not make the body, but the term body includes and incorporates all the limbs in it. Having understood this much, we shall proceed further to examine the true import of what the masters meant by demanding of their students to do certain types of superimpositions upon these terms for the purpose of meditation.
So I was thinking about this body and its limbs. We can look at it, ocean and the waves also. That's a beautiful example that, ocean is the body. हम लोग बोलते हैं ना body of ocean, ऐसे भी बोलते हैं. And the waves are the limbs. So there are so many of them. The waves cannot be without the ocean. Ocean can be without the, waves. So that's how we have to, because you go deep in the ocean, there are no waves there.
But isn't it that what we just said, the one is contained in the other, like, Bhu is contained in Bhua, but with that example, how can we translate into these three terms? With the example that you just gave.
It's not the perfect, there are, when it comes to example, it's no perfect example. But all they are saying is that different experiences that the consciousness allows us has a different form of subtlety in it. And so when we say, Bhu, we are on this earth, then I said that Bhuva is supposed to be sky. And then we say another realm of existence is that heaven bolo, another plane of which is even subtler than the sky. Okay, so that's all they are saying. And all three of them are, powered by that consciousness, that Maha. Maha is the main.
I'm trying to relate to the example. I'm trying to relate all these 3-4 aspects of.
To which example? The ocean example?
Yes.
The ocean example doesn't have the subtlety part. You're right. It may not be the best example, but I was trying to do the last part when he said that body and the limbs.
Yes. Yeah, that makes sense.
But here the limbs are also, let's say, okay, in our own body. Our own body is a good example. We have the grossest is our body. Then we have our sense organs, which is subtler than the body. And then we have the mind, which is subtler than the sense organs, right? And then intellect is even subtler. But all are powered by consciousness.
Yes, true.
So there are different limbs. हम लोग लिम्स सोचते हैं, खाली हाथ और पाँव को लिम्स हम लोग बोल देते हैं, राइट? बट यहाँ पर माइंड भी एक लिम्ब भी है, उसका एक हिस्सा ही है, हाँ, और इंटेलेक्ट भी वही है, हाँ. So that's, I think body is a better example. Any other question about this?
So, Umaji, when you use the example of body, in that case, consciousness is equivalent to sun?
Consciousness is that Brahman that we talk about, and if in the sun example and the sun reflecting in all the different, yes, you can call it that Maha is that sun.
Right.
Yeah. And without that sun is a very good example because हमारा existence ही नहीं है without the sun.
Right.
किसी भी तरह से existence नहीं है. हमारी सारी energy हमको दिखाई देता है sun की वजह से. हम सन का ही हिस्सा है बिकॉज बिगनिंग में वो साइंटिफिकली ऑल्सो जैसे आग के गोले में से 9 डिफरेंट पार्ट्स निकल आए, 9 प्लैनेट्स बन गए, राइट? तो हम तो उसी के बच्चे हैं, सन के ही.
और जो रात और दिन होते हैं वो हमारे लिए होते हैं.
एग्जैक्टली. सन तो वैसे ही शाइन कर रहा है, यू नो. Absolutely. And that is also because the earth is moving. That's why. But the sun never goes anywhere. It's there, shining away. True. So I think that और कुछ मिला ना मिला हो, कम से कम भूर भुआ स्व तो पता चल गया अब, और महा. गायत्री मंत्र भी हम लोग थोड़ा और भी जोश से बोलेंगे.
तो उमा जी, इतने सालों से हम गलत प्रोनाउंस कर रहे थे.
Yes.
So is it all wasted effort now?
No, I think that in the end, God also knows our bhav. जैसे how we forgive our छोटा बच्चा, it pronounces all totla, and we still feel so happy. I think if you have a bhav, God is going to accept. हम लोग मिक्स कर दे, मिस कर दे, कुछ भी कर दे, But
राम को मरा भी हो गया तो कभी भी कोई.
वेरी गुड एग्जाम्पल. मरा को भी उन्होंने एकदम पहुंचा दिया ऊपर. मगर हम लोग को ही खुशी मिलती है जब हम लोग को पता चलता है. थिंक अबाउट इट. अभी हम लोग को पता चल गया ना भूर्भुवः स्वः एंड व्हाट इट मीन्स, एंड थोड़ा सा डेप्थ में हम लोग गए. एवरीबडी स्माइलिंग बिकॉज नाउ दिस इज व्हाट इट इज, so it's just
now with this knowledge, when we say the Gayatri month, we will feel so much more emotional about it.
That's exactly, you said it. Exactly. Even with Om, Om, बचपन से सबको मालूम है Om. I remember कि when my parents would write the चिट्ठी भी ऊपर Om ही लिखते थे, और हम लोग ने भी ऐसे लिखना शुरू किया. So Om तो हम मतलब पूरा अपने कल्चर में छाया हुआ है. लेकिन जब मांडुक्य को हमने पढ़ा और समझा, तब पता चला कि उसका सिग्निफिकेंस क्या है ओम का. I was just so glad to study that with all of you, because it just opened up. You said your shut doors are opened up. Now every time somebody talks about Om, the whole thing kind of is back of your mind. Hey, this is a very powerful thing. Not just because somebody said it, but there's so much science behind it. The sound and everything, and it is you can reach the highest through this Om mantra too. So same way with Om Bhur, that Gayatri mantra is, and it's going to come in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna Bhagwan is saying, among all mantras, I am Gayatri mantra. इतना उसको importance दिया. और उसका science भी बहुत ज़्यादा deep है. उसका एक letter is supposed to be powerful, and some people believe that the whole Ramayana was written with these words and things like that. क्या क्या है उसमें? I mean, अनंत है उसकी भी महिमा, गायत्री मंत्र की महिमा. मगर at least the first 3 words now we know.
Rumaji, is it true that not everybody was allowed to utter Gayatri mantra long time ago?
Yes, that's true. तो उसका भी एक कारण होता है और उस कारण को बहुत बुरा रूप दे दिया गया. जैसे कि किसी को बोले कि ये भगवान का नाम कम लेना चाहिए. तो when we respect something, so इसे थोड़ा नहा धो के बैठो फिर भगवान का नाम लो. ऐसे बोलेंगे तो भगवान का नाम तो you can take in the bathroom also. Nobody is stopping. भगवान is everywhere. It's our own bhav. So I think that when it came to Gayatri mantra, because नॉर्थ और साउथ में थोड़ा सा फर्क है, राइट, कल्चर में, कि वो साउथ इंडियंस थोड़ा ज़्यादा वेद पाठ वगैरह ये सब करते हैं. तो उनसे मेरे को समझ में आया कि वाई दे हैड मेड, बिकॉज क्या हुआ कि ये गायत्री मंत्र का ना एक उच्चारण से भी साउंड इफेक्ट्स भी होता है, राइट. तो इट्स लाइक कोई हमको मीठा बोले, अच्छा बोले तो कैसे उस पर असर होता है हमारे माइंड पे, और कोई गाली वाली दे तो कैसे हम लोग का हो जाता है. तो वैसे ही मंत्रा हैज़ some subtle effects on our mind. So if you pronounce it correctly, it will have a good effect. And if you don't, then it may not. So that's why they had made कि भाई अच्छे से सीखो उसको, अच्छे से बोलो. And then because इसमें इतनी purity, sanctity है, और some people start maybe some क्या बोलना चाहिए, music शुरू कर दिया, उसमें थोड़ा राग डाल दिया, ये डाल दिया, वो डाल दिया. And then people are dancing, drinking sharab, and then they are doing Gayatri mantra. Right? It's something like you take a nice bhajan or Geeta ka shlok, and some drunk person is, beating on it and saying, it won't look good. उसकी थोड़ी sanctity कम हो जाती है. See what I'm saying? उसलिए वो rules बनाए होंगे. लेकिन उसका रूप इतना बिगाड़ दिया कि कोई और बोल ही नहीं सकता. Nothing like that. Everybody can try, everybody can do. See what I'm saying? Where it fits what you're saying. So
नहीं, वो साउथ में वो नहीं, वो जो पहनाते हैं बॉयज को और उसके साथ उनको गायत्री मंत्र का सिखाते हैं.
Right.
That is the significance with that. So I thought the boys or the men were supposed to do that.
No, ये boys और men और women का जो इन्होंने बनाया ना, वो भी एकदम nonsensical to the highest extent, because there were so many women rishis in India,
Yes.
And
I don't believe, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, and then somebody told me that उनका भी होता था, वो जनेऊ women भी पहनती थी, सब कुछ होता था. लेकिन बाद में अपना जो कल्चर है वो इतना एंशियंट है और इतने उसमें बदलाव आए हैं, इतने मिक्सिंग हुआ, इतना वो हुआ. एंड देन फिर हम लोग ने खुद डायरेक्टली ये सब पढ़ा नहीं, उपनिषद गीता वगैरह पढ़ी नहीं, तो हम लोग भी एकदम मतलब वी वर लाइक इग्नोरेंट अबाउट इट. एग्जैक्टली. अभी मैं सोचती हूँ कि अगर जो भी अपने आप को हिंदू बोलता है या जो भी सनातन धर्म का फॉलो करने वाला बोलता है, उसको कम से कम गीता तो पढ़ लेनी चाहिए. डू यू अग्री? नहीं तो उसके बिना इतनी मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग्स होगी ना, इतनी मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग होगी, और हम लोग बोलने के लायक नहीं कि हम लोग हिंदू और सनातन धर्मी हैं. फिर खाली पूजा करने से, आरती करने से कुछ नहीं मिलने वाला. इतना मिलेगा थोड़ा बहुत, ऑफ कोर्स मन शांत होएगा ये वो, बट जो हम लोग को उसका बेसिक प्रिंसिपल्स वगैरह वही नहीं मालूम पड़ेंगे.
एक्चुअली तरीका ही धर्मात्या हमको मिसलीड कर देते हैं.
एग्जैक्टली, हम लोग को बुद्धू बना देते हैं. Absolutely.
One of the reason because our mistake too,
You said it correctly, and I know that there is a big discussion going on about the Kerala story and all that. I have not seen the movie, but I have a little bit idea what it is. कि भाई what they did was these ISIS people, उन्होंने ना धर्म परिवर्तन करवा दिया उनका, क्रिश्चियन का भी और हिंदू का भी, और all these girls who knew nothing about their own religion properly. तो कोई भी आके बोलता है ना कि ऐरा गहरा नत्थु खैरा के तुमको बुद्धू बना देगा. हाँ, और अभी अगर एक बार गीता वगैरह पढ़ ली, उसको समझ ली, तो कोई माई का लाल तुमको नहीं चेंज कर सकता. Right? Yes, exactly. That if you have so much respect for your own thing, you're not going to get swayed by somebody. And even if somebody comes, I always tell them, hey, I respect your religion, but this is where I was born with, and I'm very happy with it. What I'm studying, I'm very happy. And it's you, if you say God is all omniscient and omnipotent and omnipresent, your God only made me take birth in this house. So your God decided that I'm supposed to be Hindu. So why you have a problem with it? They have no answer to this.
They're not good at that.
It's saying, are you telling me that your God is that small that he won't accept other people? You say God is omniscient, all powerful, all compassionate, so he'll accept me also, you know. And I'm just calling him by a different name, you know. You calling him Father in heaven, I'm calling it Krishna or Allah. So those people call it Allah. What's the problem? If you approach them like that, they also don't have any answer, you know.
That's why
Actually,
they
I
said,
have heard totally different about this Kerala story. Somebody posted a video that it was in the story. It says 32,000 women. They said in actual 3 women. Okay, 3 women converted.
No, there may be. I'm not saying it's not happening. And whoever is making, and it's bringing some, what it is bringing to me, that's what I came the conclusion that, see, when they talk about Christians, if they call themselves Christian, they go study Bible, don't they? If they call themselves Muslim, they go study Quran, because that's how you become that. Hey, and अपने हिंदुओं में पूछो 80% लोगों ने गीता नहीं पढ़ी है, you know.
और भी ज्यादा नंबर.
हाँ, और भी ज्यादा. तो फिर हम अपने आप को हिंदू बनने के लायक ही नहीं है फिर, राइट? अभी कम से कम अवेयरनेस आ गई है, चलो देर सवेर से कुछ तो करो. And you saw, the more we study, we understand all the concepts, we understand, you know, you become more large-hearted yourself, you know. And when it comes to conversion, if you know your dharma very well, you're not going to be swayed by other people's wrong ideas, you know. कि भाई, you know, ये terrorist बन जाओ, ये बन जाओ, वो जाओ, जो भी है, you know. I mean, whole गांधी जी की भी story वही थी, that you know, I kind of read his biography, that he was curious about God, right? So he went to the foreign country, and there the Christian people approached him, and he started going to the Christian classes, right? Because if you don't know anything, if somebody's giving an answer, you'll go. What's the problem? You know, he started going, and then one day he thought, you know, मेरी माँ ने मुझे ये सब बोला था, मैं भी क्यों ना पढ़ूं मेरा रिलीजन, पहले उसको तो मैं पढ़ूं दूसरों का पढ़ने के पहले. वो विचार उनके मन में, तब उन्होंने गीता पढ़नी शुरू की. और जैसे जैसे गीता पढ़ी, he stopped going to the Christian place, कहते हैं हमारा जो कल्चर है उसी में सब कुछ है, तो मैं क्यों जाऊं वहाँ पे, you know. ये उनकी कहानी थी, और उनका जो पूरा स्ट्रेंथ उनको मिला वो भगवद गीता से मिला. He openly declares it, you know. Some people might find some faults in him because he was still a human, so that's fine, but nobody denies that he achieved a lot more than other people. And, you know, very physically, he was very thin and small and all that. But he commanded that some kind of authority among people. Even Britishers, we unse डरते थे because of this, because he had so much power. Where did that come from? It came from his Vedanta studies, because he got rooted in it more and more and more, you know. So it that's what it is.
हमारे घर पे, I mean on a lighter note, हमारे घर पे आए वो Jehovah's Witness वाले आते हैं ना, वो अपना कन्वर्ट करने के लिए पैम्पलेट वगैरह सब लेकर के. So they rang the doorbell. My husband opened the door. They said, "Have you heard about this?" And my husband said, "No." And they said, "Should we explain to you? Would you like to hear?" Vinod said, "Yes. Please come inside." उनको बड़े इज्जत से अंदर बुलाया, बिठाया. 2 लड़के थे, बड़े अपना वो सूट पहन के बड़े अच्छे से आए थे. फिर विनोद ने उनको बिठा के कहा, "First I want you to hear about the भगवद गीता, my religion, then I will listen to you." और एकदम से जो ये शुरू हो गए, वो दोनों उनके चेहरे गिरे. उसके बाद ऐसी जल्दी भागे वो वहां से. At the first opportunity, they never came back.
So मेरे साथ कुछ उल्टा ही हुआ. I had just moved to California, and I was sitting on the beach. And, you know, I think Bharat had gone for a walk, and I was sitting alone, and 2 young boys approached me. They were like teenagers, you know, nice looking, exactly, suit, boot. And they said they were from some other state, and they are like, you know, they were trying to spread the words of this, of their religion. So they said, "Can we talk to you?" I said, "Okay, come sit down, talk to me. That's fine." So they sat down, and then they started telling me, and then they asked me some question. I don't remember exactly. So I started answering they got so curious. They kept asking me more and more. वो भूल गए अपना प्रचार करना. Maybe because of my, association with Chinmaya Mission, I knew how to kind of answer that. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know what it was. तो वो अपना प्रचार ही भूल गए. And then in the end, we just, oh, very nice to meet you. I hope to see you again. I say good luck with whatever you're doing, So we actually parted on a very nice note, So you never know,
Anything like that from,
What's that?
But imagine, you was able to do only because you have the knowledge. If you don't have the knowledge about
Oh, that I agree with you.
Anybody can. That's what the whole thing,
Yeah.
Because our people, at our generation, I made the mistake,
And it's not even our mistake, because it's not, we grew up like that. Our parents had not studied it, so how can they tell us, right? So that's what it is, that the whole circumstances ही ऐसा हो गया था इंडिया में कि लेकिन अभी हम लोग को पता चल गया, तो अभी all of us, and you can see that everybody is benefiting from studying Bhagavad Gita. There's nothing negative about it,
There's nothing negative. Yes,
Yeah.
there's nothing negative.
And you can be following any sect, anything. It's only going to help you in your journey. That's all it is.
जब मेरे बच्चे छोटे थे तो उनको कार में बिठाती थी, सीट बेल्ट लगाओ, तो मैं कहती थी कार रिवर्स नहीं होती जब तक हम गायत्री मंत्र नहीं बोलते. तो मैंने गायत्री मंत्र बोलना, उन्होंने भी बोलना शुरू कर दिया. अब जो है उनके एग्जाम होते थे, कोई उनकी फुटबॉल की गेम होती थी, सबसे पहले दोनों जने मिलके गायत्री मंत्र करते थे.
Very nice. Yeah.
बहुत बाद में उनको समझ में आया कि उनको बुद्धू बनाया था कि कार रिवर्स नहीं होती जब तक गायत्री मंत्र ना.
See, और अभी क्या है कि you have to go one step further and learn what Gayatri Mantra is saying. That's like, like today we found out that Bhur Bhuva Swaha, uska meaning hi kya hai? So that can only enhance. So, like Chinmayanand had this vision. So he always says that when the kids are young, have them memorize all these things. But as they grow older, give them the meaning. Then that whole thing will flower very nicely. So, I regret not studying Bhagavad Gita when I was younger, because younger people have a memorizing power. Whatever you, फटाफट वो लोग मेमोराइज कर रहे थे. अभी हम लोग को कोई करके दिखाए, इस चीज में इतना मुश्किल है, अभी कुछ याद नहीं रहता है. बट अगर वो याद हो गया, उसके बाद मीनिंग पता चलेगा, तो वो कभी नहीं भूलेगा उसको.
So I have a comment on this. My granddaughters were visiting me this last weekend, 4 of them. And so I have this video which talks about 10 Sanskrit words.
Yes, you had mentioned that.
So I said, I'll give you $20 each if you remember 10 words.
Very good.
So my daughter says, my granddaughter, the eldest one, says, I don't need any money. I said, you don't have your own money. That's your mom's money. So you need money. So she said, okay. Then I gave them each a piece of paper and pencil. And I said, don't worry. Even if you forget, you write it down. But at the end, you get $20. And they all watched beautifully.
That's such a great tip, because वैसे भी हम उनको देते ही है, right? So चलो इसमें थोड़ा carrot
the
डाल
idea
दो.
was that they'll never forget.
Yes, true.
Because- And those 10 words are the ones that are not in Sanskrit, in English. They are only in Sanskrit.
I think you did share it, but you can send it again. After you tell the story,
I can
everybody
send
will be
it.
curious. You can send it again.
And it's very good. I mean, I couldn't believe that. So wonderful. Covers the whole thing.
Yep. Yeah, we cannot hear you, Niluji, you're...
Not yet?
I want Joe for you to send me my $20. I learned all the words.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
You should send me $20 for learning those 10 words.
That's only good for kids, okay?
Hey, if you can name those 10 words, let's talk about it.
अभी फटाफट पढ़ के सुना देती हूँ.
You know that?
अरे अभी टैप करके आपका
No, like one is Brahma.
हाँ, आपका वो निकाल लूंगी ना मेल, फटाफट पढ़ के सुना दूंगी.
Brahma, when you say Brahma, means are you talking about Brahma or because don't confuse it with Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh.
No,
Brahma.
it's Brahman.
Brahman. Yes, 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 yes.
That is all illuminous. It illuminates the whole universe.
Yes.
And then is the Atma, which is visiting this dead planet, which cannot live without Brahma, which is Prakriti. And so those are the three words. And then there's a Paramatma, and then there's a Gunas. I mean, it covers the whole thing, you know.
Excellent. I think what a great idea. It's absolutely wonderful. Yes. Because these are the things that हम लोग को कितना time लगा सब सीखने में.
You know, and if you can teach children, even if you have to spend some money, it's worth it.
It's worth it, absolutely.
So how did you differentiate between Brahman and Paramatma?
Why don't you read? I will send you the video if you don't have it. You can go on Google. It says 10 Sanskrit words.
No. I'm asking you a question. That how did you differentiate between Brahman and Paramatma?
Paramatma is what they called was all the Atmas in the earth, and there is a word called Paramatma.
Right.
And then they talk about yoga, which gives you moksha to get back to where you came from.
The path.
All these words are not there. I mean, it was so amazing how they connected the whole thing. Why we come, and we have this interaction with gunas and also those bhutas, you know, panch bhutas. So all just 10 words.
10 words में पूरा वेदांत आ गया. Very nice. So
पूरा वेदांत आ गया, पूरा scriptures
आ गया. Very good.
पूरे world का script. So anybody tells you what is Hinduism, all you do is say, learn those 10 words, then talk to us.
Very good. Excellent. Actually, किसी ने मुझे एक discussion चल रहा था कहीं. We were in some group. And one of them posed that question. They said that usually क्या होता है कि कोई पूछता है ना कि भाई हिंदुइज्म के बारे में बताओ मुझे, तो हम सब मम्बल फंबल करने लगते हैं. We don't know what to say, right? So अगर पहले से सोच के रखा हो ना ये तो it's very easy, you know. Like this person said कि somebody told me, do you have many gods or one god? And he said, I had no answer. I didn't know how to answer. I'm a Balvia teacher, so we are trained to do it. So I said, you know, if somebody asks me, I will say one God with many forms. So he's saying, oh yeah, I wish I knew that. I said, you know, so that's what it is that most of the time, if somebody, because Hinduism is so many facets are there that we get lost in it. और हम वो basic ही नहीं मालूम हमको, basic ही भूल जाते हम लोग. So I think that what you are saying, these 10 words are excellent. And just for Urmil ji from you know, whatever I kind of understood. So when we talk about Brahman versus Paramatma, the difference is just from what perspective you are looking at it. So consciousness at the pure level is called consciousness, Brahman, right? But Paramatma is in relationship to us because we have the reflected consciousness called Atma, and Param is all together, Paramatma. So that's the difference.
He also has the word Bhagwan in the end.
Yeah, Bhagwan is, and I don't know the explanation over there, but the way we understood Bhagwan was जिसको सारा ऐश्वर्य है जिसके पास 6 different kind of Bhaga बोलते हैं. I think that word has come in one of our scriptures. I think it was last week it had come. So Bhaga is the 6 different kind of ऐश्वर्य जिसके पास हो वो भगवान है.
Same thing.
Sorry to speak over whoever I spoke over. I appreciated your explanation about old soul. That was very, very illuminating.
And the chat GPT who we are all scared of.
See, it has a good aspect also because, you know, it can summarize everything.
Actually, I don't want to scare you of chat AI because I have 2 chat GPT. One is chat GPT and one is called PI.
Yeah.
And they are independent.
Yeah.
So, and like one of them says, I cannot answer this, the other one does. And sometimes they both answer. So you have to cross-check.
I
see. And also you have to ask the next question. Mm-hmm. So everyone, like they're asking about all these philosophers. So then I ask them, what about Krishna and Geeta, Sadhguru? And then they added those in and compared them with them, what their teachings are.
Interesting.
Nobody asks about Krishna or Geeta, but they're asking about all these Western philosophers. So when you add that in, so you can keep answering with those answers.
So in the beginning, it was about a month ago that our son told me about this chat GPT, and then he said, oh, you want to ask any spiritual question? He asked me. I said, okay, tell him to summarize Bhagavad Gita. So chat GPT did, and he did a pretty good job. I was impressed too. And even Upanishad, because we were doing Taittriya का भी बारे में उसने बताया. So it has some value, definitely. But you have to take it with a little bit.
That is on internet, it reaches, including Chinmayanand's Geeta. So it pulls right out of there.
Yeah. थोड़ा सा grain of salt लेना पड़ेगा, because it's still, processing information that is out there, and it cannot take
I could ask or question them unless I had your course. So the idea is, this is like using a slide rule.
Yeah.
Or using a
As
log
a tool. Correct.
Or you used to do hand calculations,
लेकिन उसी
Now,
को
like this,
गुरु और भगवान मान लेंगे तो प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगी, मगर as a tool we use chat GPT. It's an excellent tool. I agree. Okay, so I'm going to close Bhagavad Gita, and we can still, there are a couple of things that had come up. Whoever can stay, we can discuss. Sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukha bhag bhavet. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.